All right, we're recording. We're good to go. The hard drive officially, David, the hard drive officially works just today. Today only, it works now. The one recommendation I do have for you is do not buy a SanDisk.
It's the same brand as Western Digital.
They're junk. They're junk.
I don't know why this thing is not working.
And your only excuse for its poor performance is I gave a lot of money for it.
I need to get a V2, I think. Extreme portable.
The damn thing doesn't work. And he's like, let me get another one. See what it was.
So Samsung T5 is it. Nothing else.
So you've quit
Bret
smoking. How's that
Fadely.
going?
Did I say that right? I said that right.
Yeah, I call him Fadely. I know it's Fadely, but I'm from the South.
So
everything sounds different from the South.
We had this guy on the podcast, and he tells his name. His name is Stephen Faithful.
He's here, isn't he?
Stephen will be here.
Auto Ops.
Auto Ops will be here.
I got to fill out my form.
He goes. He did you sign up with him?
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Yeah. I did. I signed up too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. He built something super cool for me.
Oh, just for you? Of course he did.
I'm sure he built it for everybody.
Hey, fill this form out. You get the conventional stuff. But Mr. Underwood, Mr. Underwood
like,
gets all the fancy. We
custom
built this code for you.
Just shut the hell up. I said, look, the thing that I like is I really, really, really have to have it to where, like, when I look at my phone, it goes to Google Calendar. It's important. And he's like, well, that's really a good idea because, like, even clients could use that. And so now they have a thing. So
that should have been really easy to turn on.
Yeah.
That it creates a Google Calendar doodad.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he tells this whole story about how somebody had thought his name was Faithful, not Faithful. And he goes,
I'm a dumbass. Is that what you're trying to get at?
And then and Lucas is like, all right, now, Stephen Faffle.
Hey, let me tell you.
Dude, were you not listening to that thing? The whole story he just told?
At ASTE. Did you hear the story about December's room getting flooded?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys were talking about that.
Well, so it was Mike Allen. His shower.
It was his.
His shower stopped up, and I'm I don't know why Fawful made me think of this. I guess waffle. I don't know.
What?
So all this is going down, right? And I tell my wife, I'm like, hey, I was like, Mike's shower overflowed and flooded one of our employees' rooms. And so she missed like the morning classes and everything else. And she said, well, Mike's probably a waffle stomper. And
no.
And so I call Mike.
No.
I call Mike and I'm like,
why would she think that?
Well, I call Mike because she had read a story about it on Reddit. And so I call Mike and I'm like, hey, it's like, I need to know something. I thought it was going to like trip him up and he was going to go like look it up and be like, oh, that's gross. So I say it to him and he just dies laughing. I'm like, so you know what that is? He's like, yeah, of course I know what that is. And
yeah,
no,
this was part of the conversation when I was in the room with Mike on the recording. And that's when we all went down that hill, man.
I'm starting to wonder if that's what happened to his shower.
There was no waffle there to stomp anything into at the shower because they had those.
No.
Strips.
You can take the cover off of you just pull the little strip up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then there's something there to stomp down into.
Regular shower drain.
I guess it all goes to the same place.
I guess. Just make sure dude keeps his shoes on, I guess.
Flip-flop.
No.
I don't understand that whole concept. That whole thing doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh my!
Stomping that.
I mean, I guess maybe an emergency, meeting of the minds. I guess I don't know.
An emergency what?
Meeting of the minds. Like you have a boo boo in the shower, you know.
I could see the boo boo in the shower, but you gotta. I mean, it's coming. Right?
I mean, I don't know. Some people have issues in that area.
Oh, it's that kind of show? I can join in on that show.
That's what happened to your toilet at the shop.
Yeah.
What happened to my shop?
Your mess with the toilet there a while back?
All over the toilet?
No. terrible.
What?
What?
Did I tell a story about that?
Yeah.
I didn't have a mess. Maybe I did.
Somebody had a mess.
Yeah.
It was on one of your episodes. Your
Really?
recent ones. Yeah.
I don't listen to my own episodes.
You guys
probably
said,
should.
it was said about that it was dripping down the wall and on the seat. I don't know whose it was.
Yeah.
I don't recall any of this. Did I block it out of my mind?
Your guests were talking about some of the pranks they would do with ketchup thrown in there. Little ketchup
I think that
packets.
was me talking about a guy that we had at our shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was terrible. It's
It would
awful.
blow up the bathroom.
That's next level blow up the bathroom right there.
Anyway, there are dedicated holes for things. Just keep things in their dedicated holes. The toilet hole is for one thing. The shower's for something else. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
Why is
Next
your
time-
wife on Reddit looking
Next time-
for this kind of stuff?
next time, could we have an agreement that you're going to say drains instead of holes? That would make me feel way more comfortable. Welcome to Tools 2023. We've talked all morning about how much more professional and how much more exact this event feels. We have officially ruined that. Ruined.
That's the precursor warning label, right?
Nobody has flooded the hotel yet.
Bro, I don't know about this hotel. If there was a hotel that was going to get flooded,
You think it'd be this one?
this hotel would get flooded.
The drains are a little sketchy.
Yeah,
the drains
they-
were sketchy
Hey,
at that last
you know where
hotel,
them
though.
drains
Did that-
go? They go to the water park.
Yeah, they got these big tubs.
They're,
Hey,
they're filling
They've got
the
a
water
strainer.
park.
Don't worry, it's
They
okay.
they just funnel into the urine river. It's like, hey, you want to go sit in somebody's urine for a couple hours? Yeah. Welcome to the urine river.
That
Here's a tube.
I was super depressed when you sent me that video of the lazy river the other day. And all the people like going down, and dude had to take the broom and be like, "Burp, burp."
Once you don't understand this.
No.
Let me try to explain this to you.
No, he does.
So-
He does because it's just like we continue to eat and get fatter and fatter. Well, I do. And he continues to smoke and get closer and closer. So
No, but he doesn't understand this part. You go to a water park. Water parks often have weight limits on the slides.
Right.
Certain slides, if you're over 250 pounds, you can't get on that slide because the way you get swung around, it could be dangerous for you. You could hurt yourself.
you could jump out the side.
And yeah, like you go airborne on some of them because if you're like right on the edge, it's like, yeah, I took a big poo this morning. I think I'm under 250 pounds. And so you get on the slide.
I think my shower stopped up now.
No. Ugh. Anyway. No. I don't even know how that happens or who finds that acceptable. Anyway, so you're going down the slide and sometimes some of the corners like whoa.
Yeah, they throw you up.
You'll flip upside down or get thrown off the side or whatever. Like you're going down too fast and just your body weight is swinging you too much one way or the other. So they tell you not to go down the slide if you're over 250 pounds. And so I go to this water park with my kids and my wife, and it was in Oklahoma City. And most of the slides were over 250 or anything over 250 pounds. You couldn't go on the slide. So I hung out at the lazy river. And that's all you can do.
Did you get jammed up in one of the corners?
I didn't get jammed up.
Did the dude have to come by with the broom and poke you out of the?
So I sent him a video, a clip of Family Guy, and that's what it was. This big fat guy telling his son, I can't go down that slide. This is the life I've chosen. And then he goes onto the lazy river and he sits in the tube and eats his food, eats his ice cream. And all of the other fat people that are on the lazy river with him, they get clogged and then the employee has to go out and push them all off. And I sent them the video and I said, yeah, this has actually happened. This is a thing.
Wow.
I can't go down some of the slides. Did you know that?
No. I used to get kicked off the slides. And we used to go down halfway and try and stop it and pile everybody up behind
That
us.
can't be that's like at a community pool. These slides are not the kind that you're going to try to stop in.
Oh, no. I'm talking like the
fast.
big water slides.
Really?
Hell yeah.
Why would you do that?
because
it's like, hey, this sounds
fun.
like this sounds like a good way to break a leg. Hold on real quick. I want to try to stop myself and see if somebody hits me from behind.
It would only happen once because by the time we got down, you're out of here.
You ever been kicked out of a place like that?
No.
I've been kicked out of miniature golf courses too. I don't have patience for golf.
I could see that. I could see that, especially when there's like a line of people in front of you and they're taking forever.
I hate mini golf is the worst. Absolute worst. It is awful. It is. I don't get it.
Well, I'm not allowed back on them, so because I'm playing miniature golf thinking I'm on the tee.
Hey, bro, look, you've not been to Myrtle Beach. They don't kick people out of mini golf in Myrtle Beach, okay?
Why is everybody loaded there?
Yeah. So they just shoot you and put you out back with everybody else. Myrtle Beach is rough. Myrtle Beach is a dangerous, dangerous place these days. Last time we were there, right? My daughter was probably 5 or 6 at the time. We walk across this crosswalk, and so like there's people walking, and the cars on either side have to stop because it's got like a red light at it. And we walk across, and this guy slams into the back of another car that stopped at a stoplight. And as we walk off, they start shooting at each other.
Oh,
in the middle.
With guns? Or?
Yeah, with handguns.
What?
Yeah, dude, Myrtle Beach is a dangerous place.
That's peak America right there. Good for them.
I mean, there's been a few instances where I was going to say something on this show, and I thought, you know what, Lucas, you probably shouldn't do that. This is one of those instances.
The whole idea is that if everybody has a gun, you have a more civilized society because you're not going to all of a sudden go crazy on somebody because you don't know. That person could feel as though you're a threat and you might get shot.
Well, that just happened in my hometown. Somebody I knew got killed.
Oh, ouch.
And he had a overreaction to a situation. He was super upset about it. It was the fact that he had a newborn in the car, and so he got so upset that somebody cut him off. He went up and he tried to get the guy out of the car, and the guy shot him and killed him.
Yeah, I have road rage like that, and that's a scary feeling. Yeah. You don't know what they're going to do.
The one thing I will say is
you get that angry?
I would get that angry,
no
especially when I'm on a motorcycle. If they cut me off, there's been a couple times I rode up beside and kicked the door.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing: is that when we're big active self-protection fans, and so one of the things they always talk about is like de-escalate. You absolutely have to de-escalate.
Kicking doors is not de-escalating, dear. You know what that does? It strains your heart.
Yeah.
Getting upset like that.
It does. I mean.
Anyway, de-escalation is absolutely key. I think
I de-escalated after I kicked the door. I was good.
Yeah, but the problem is that they swerve left when you de-escalate.
That's why I've only done it a couple times. But if you're on a motorcycle and when you're in traffic like that and they just cut you off.
Pretty sure if you're on a motorcycle, just in general, you are taking your life into your own hands.
You take your life into your own hands getting into a car.
No, I have. Trust me. Me hitting a motorcycle, I'm going to win.
Well, I know
100% of the time. Well, then you go.
You take your chance.
I don't want
into
any of this metal cage around me. I just want to go really fast. Oh, that sounds like a smart idea. People are perfect drivers. They're not texting, playing on their phones, completely distracted by other things, sleeping. That's happened. I'm just saying, like, everybody's perfect drivers. Therefore, I don't want this giant metal cage full of airbags and safety restraints around me. I just want the open road around me, completely free.
I think I touched a nerve.
No, I'm just saying that you're just acknowledge what you're doing and be like, hey, I want to die, maybe, but be right on the edge that if I don't, I'll be happy I don't die. But I definitely want to be on the edge.
It's like those guys that you see on the interstate. Where were we? Was it Denver? And that dude was like going right down the middle of the white line.
The lane splitters. I hate them. Yeah,
dude, that's crazy.
It's crazy stuff.
I mean, he came by us probably 110, 115 mile an hour.
So there are differences, David, with motorcycle riders and assholes. And so There are differences.
Hey,
Is
I
there?
ride
I'm pretty
sensibly.
sure that if. I'm pretty sure that if you are riding a motorcycle, I think
are you
the lines
indicating
getting blurred here.
Are you indicating that he is one of those motorcycle riders that was on South Park?
I think they're all like that. I'm just saying. I'm pissing off everybody that listens to this podcast because I'm pretty sure that overwhelmingly there's a large majority of technicians and shop owners that have motorcycles. And ride
We're
motorcycles,
joking.
but I'm
We're
saying,
joking. We're not
It's
serious.
just a joke. It's just a joke. I have no problem with motorcycle riders. I just do. I do get a little freaked out because I don't want to hit anybody. I don't want to kill anybody. Can you imagine? I'm driving here to Kalahari and I'm yakking to my wife and I am taking. I'm saying Kia, take the wheel because the Kia's got the fancy drive yourself thing. So of course I'm not paying any attention. I pay less attention when it's got those features on there because I let the computer do its thing. Anyway, so I'm driving down the thing and I'm barely paying attention to the road. I'm going like 70, 75, I don't know. And these guys on these motorcycles, they're in the same lane as me. I'm just slightly off to the left because for whatever reason, Kia's like to hug the line to the left.
Yellow?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hugging the line to the left. These guys just fly by. They were probably going 120. Just John. I heard the second one come up behind me. The first one blows by me, freaks me out. I'm like, holy crap. And it's not that they weren't splitting the lane. The guy just had an opening.
And he took it.
Yeah, where, hey, this guy's off slightly to the left. I'm going fast enough that he doesn't have enough time to react and clip me. But I could have, especially the one behind me. I could have swerved slightly to the right, and all of a sudden, that guy's dead. And now I got an accident. There's blood everywhere. I got to live with that because this guy decided he was going to, he just could do it because he's on a motorcycle.
I have a family member who a gentleman committed suicide by jumping into the car that the family member was in. And so when he jumped into the car, the windshield failed. And this person was, when everything stopped, this person was inside the car. And this person says that they still remember like his facial expression as he hit the car. And he said, I will never forget. He said, I could see the look of regret. Like I had just made a mistake.
Why do you have that? Why does it always have to go so dark?
Well, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is like we don't think about our impacts to other people when we make decisions like that.
So the guys on the motorcycle weren't thinking about, hey, I'm about to get killed, and then I'm also going to ruin this guy's life.
Yeah, they don't
his
think, we
evening
don't,
and his trip plans and all this other. I'm just going to drive like an a-hole because I'm in a motorcycle and go really fast.
Is someone who doesn't take into consideration the feelings and emotions of others in a situation like that, is that just a sign of immaturity?
I don't even think they think that far ahead or they think of that at all. I think they just get in a motorcycle and they realize I can go way faster than everybody else. Instant speed. It's not I got to wait and accelerate. It's just I flip the thing and all of a sudden I'm going 100 miles an hour.
I guess what I'm trying to get at there, though, is that I remember when I was like 17, 18, 19 years old, I thought less about my decisions' impacts on other people, right? I didn't, like you said, I didn't think about it. As I've gotten older, I think about the fact that, it's like you get behind somebody that's going really slow and you think, well, that could be my mom or my dad, or that could be, you know what I mean? That is somebody to someone else, right?
I know. I'm getting really bad with that, though. Really bad. Somebody's slow in front of me, and I'm like, oh my God, let's go. Make the fucking turn.
You're too uptight. You worry too much. You're too stressed out about nothing.
You are stressed out about nothing. Holy moly.
I know. It's a pet peeve. It's a bad pet peeve I got.
I get upset about it too, but I'm just like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to get there any faster. I mean, I do get there faster.
Yeah, you do get there faster. It is annoying. You know what it is for me? My pet peeve is that people that don't know how to zipper properly merging. And so they stop because they don't want to run out of road. So there's a mile of free road in front of them. They stop and they turn signal. They're backing everybody else up. And it's not that I'm inconvenienced. I laugh because like I blow around them and then You're like, oh, look at all this open road I got in front of me, you jackhole.
Do I need to turn the air down or something?
Why?
You're perspiring over there. I can see the glistening on your.
I have no problem, but it's like, hey, it's every other. So. It's every other. My nose is always glistening.
Okay.
I have combination skin.
Oh, I thought you had glitter. Okay, never mind. So
glitter? What?
I mean, it just looks like your nose has glitter on it. I know the camera's picking it up.
Is it? Now you're going to make me a little self-conscious. Anyway.
So look, hang on. Have you ever
seen? They don't know how to zipper properly. And poor Bret Fadely over here. But I try not to get too upset because I don't want to have a heart attack.
Have you ever seen the study about traffic? About how they talk about the one, we talk about the what is it, the law of positive dependence, where the butterfly effect, how like one thing affects all the other things.
Yeah.
And they've actually done studies on traffic that all it takes is a 13 millisecond slowdown. Someone hits their brakes, the car behind him hits their brakes,
and that has all that's the way down the line.
That's like a 40 can be up to a 45-minute slowdown in traffic. It can cause the entire traffic jam.
That's typical 95.
Yeah, I mean, it
95 traffic. That's
that was their point, is that if that happens and you go back and they would survey the traffic through cameras, and they would find out that somebody had to slam on their brakes because the person cut them off. So now everybody slows down. And so, like they say, you go down the road and you sit in traffic forever, you get through the traffic and there's nothing there. Well, it's because somebody did something like that and it affected long-term traffic flow.
That's typical 95. Interstate 95, north or south.
You know what it probably was? Motorcycles.
You don't like motorcycles, do you?
No, I think they're cool. They're fascinating vehicles. I understand the appeal of wanting to drive them. Me personally, understand how I drive, completely inattentive. I barely paying attention to the road. My wife absolutely hates it. I cannot wait for the day that we have fully autonomous vehicles and I don't have to do any actual driving. I hate driving. I hate having to wait to get there. I hate getting in the car. I hate putting gas in the car. The whole process, I hate it. And so my ire is reflected in the fact that I pay no attention to the road. And so I fear for these motorcycle drivers who happen to be driving around me. It's like, dude, you don't want to get around me. Like, I really am not paying attention, or I'm asleep.
I will tell you, as a motorcycle rider, you were 3 times more defensive.
Oh yeah,
on the bike
for sure.
You have to be, though.
I have only
because you have eliminated the giant steel cage around you that protects you.
Yeah, that steel cage won't protect you much.
Against the semi, but trust me, if I'm clipping poor Bret over here, I'll be fine. Bret's the one that's in trouble, and anything smaller than me is in trouble.
It's not necessarily the case, but especially if you're in a Pinto.
That's why I'm not in a Pinto.
Look, I have ridden a motorcycle, a crotch rocket, 3 times in my life. And I recognize that I don't need to ride a crotch rocket.
That's why I don't own one either.
And so I'll never forget the 3rd time I rode one. I like, if you ride a fast one and you stand on it, like it'll come up and you kind of get a feel for what it'll do. And so like the first time you ride it, you're not really comfortable. Second time you ride it, you're kind of getting a little gutsier and a little braver. The 3rd time you ride it, when you look down and you realize, oh, there's a 1 in front of that 8. Because I mean, that's my problem, is like I am a speed freak. I love to push the limits. And so I just don't think that's really safe for me.
Not an open road, like free and open road, like on the interstate. Why? Dude, all it takes is one squirrel coming across and you're going 130 miles an hour. You clip that squirrel.
Oh, you're down. You're down.
Grass clippings in the road.
Oh, that's the worst.
Oh,
grass clippings on the road. You're gonna die. Grandma going too slow, cutting you off, not even paying attention. And here's the other thing: you guys could be seeing it. The motorcycle rider is seeing as though I cut them off, but it's not. You're going 110, dude. Like, you have no concept of how fast you're going. Where I'm going 55, and I jump over to the next lane and that guy cut me off. No, you came up really, really fast. The speed limit is 45. I'm going 55. You're going 110. Who's the a-hole?
I'm not going to deny, but not all of us ride 110 mile an hour. I ride above the speed limit, but it's not 110 mile an hour.
It's a motorcycle. He's the a-hole. I'm just saying. Now, the pickup driver driving like that in a vehicle, like you see some of these vehicles, the guy's driving 110 miles an hour, just weaving through traffic. We saw it driving down the interstate in North Carolina going, that vehicle should not be going that fast. Like, hey, that guy has in Denver too. Well, what the hell was that guy driving?
I can't remember in Denver.
It was like a Charger or something like that. That guy had no business going that fast in that vehicle. And that vehicle's clapped out too. You're looking at that going, that thing needs ball joints and tire rod ends and tires for sure. And who the hell else knows? And check engine lights on or whatever. And that guy's just weaving through traffic, driving like an a-hole, going, that guy has no business. That guy's 10 times worse than the motorcycle rider, because the motorcycle is going to hit you and die, right? But that guy's going to cause some damage. He's going to hit somebody and kill somebody and kill themselves and then cause all sorts of chaos.
This has been a very depressing episode, especially if you ride motorcycles.
I don't want the motorcycle riders to get all upset at me like the MSOs did. Who else? Who got mad at me? The MSOs got mad at me. Everybody that kept buying toys and wanted to make more money to buy toys got mad at me. Who else?
Pretty much everybody that's ever worked with any coaching company ever.
Yeah, most shop owners got mad at me.
At this point, how many people have threatened physical violence?
It happens almost every episode.
Would it be easier just to name who hasn't?
We had a few defenders that jumped on and they defended me, and they're like, yeah, I got a lot of private messages going, I think you meant it like this. And then I have to every single time reply, yeah, I didn't do a good job of articulating myself. Thanks. But that same reply copy pasted every single one of those people were sending me going, I didn't do a good job of properly communicating what I was trying to convey. And also I didn't want to sound as communist as I did. Like I sounded like a straight hippie commie, like it was awful. And so now this whole motorcycle thing, I would never deny somebody the opportunity of buying a motorcycle. I just think they're nuts.
Everybody has their personal opinion. It's what it is.
No, I'm objectively correct. Like, you're going to die in a motorcycle. There's no way around it.
I mean, people drive them or ride them all the time and they don't die.
Oh, that makes it okay. So people smoke all the time doesn't mean they die. They eventually do. If they get lung cancer, they die, or they have heart attacks. They keep smoking. Listen, I told you this. My father-in-law had small cell carcinoma, and it gets all over you. It spreads everywhere. You can't breathe. And they said, hey, he's probably going to die in 6 months to a year. He hasn't died yet, by the way. But 6 months to a year. Is
this the one that has the dog that you hate?
Oh, yeah. 6 months to a year. And they say, well, the reason why they all die in 6 months to a year is because despite the fact that we will get rid of this cancer for them, because it's survivable. Like, we can get rid of the cancer. They don't stop smoking. They keep smoking. The cancer doesn't stop them from smoking. And I've always thought, how completely disconnected from reality do you have to be to have cancer from the smoking and still continue to smoke? And then I met Bret Fadely, who's like, heart attack? That ain't going to keep me from smoking. Screw you. I went to the doctor, and the doctor goes, hey, you are really close to having full-blown diabetes. We're going to have to put you on a pill. And I said, I don't want any pills because I have seen what the pills do. I don't want the pills. And they go, okay, well, you don't have to take the pill. And I said, and I don't want the shots either. I'll take care of it with diet and exercise. And they said, okay. And so that's what I've had to do. I can no longer eat my 2 servings of carrot cake. It's carrot cake once a month, maybe. Now, is it depressing? Yes.
Is it? But is that the problem for me? Is that lifestyle sustainable? Right? Because that was always my thing. Now I quit smoking. I didn't have problems.
Yeah, you and I talked.
Yeah, and so, but like, for instance, the food thing, that's hard for me to get right sustainability wise. because I lost the weight. And then it came back because now here's the thing: is you talk about Bret being skinny. Bret would stop smoking, and he would no longer be skinny.
Not necessarily.
I'm not skinny.
He's going to be like just throwing down.
Yeah, you're a thin guy. You're a thin guy.
Dude, I'm not.
You are. You know why?
Because
I
got no six pack. I got the keg.
Well,
I got
it's
the
because
whole
you drink
keg.
beer. But I'm saying like if you've never had the I can't ride that water slide because I'm too fat situation ever happened to you, then okay, then you're skinny. If that you're not a fat guy unless you couldn't go down a slide.
And if somebody would tell me that I have diabetes and I wouldn't be able to eat my carrot cake or stuff, start digging the hole because it's not going to stop me.
What's wrong with you? Why?
I'm stubborn.
You know,
That's not stubborn though. That's not stubborn.
It's not the death. I don't mind dying. It is what it is. Everybody's going to die, and you die whenever it happens. And I could be going, I'm going to live to 110, and then a bus hits me, and then what? You look stupid. It's not that. It's not that. It's the slow degrade, and then all of a sudden you fall off this cliff, and now you can't go to the bathroom. You have to wear a diaper, and the diaper is just.
Listen, don't talk about Dutch. That ain't cool.
Dutch is not a diaper wear. You want to see the diaper wearers of the people that can't walk, the people that have to scoot, the people that are scooting. They have walkers, they have canes, but they scoot. When you have to go and you're old, you don't have the muscles around the junk to hold that in. And so when you have to go, you got to get up and you got to go. Now, if you see that person get up and then they're like scoot, that person's wearing a diaper. Because they cannot hold it in before they get to the bathroom. They've already relieved themselves.
Scoot, stop.
Scoot.
Well, those people are the people that have accepted that this is what's going to happen. But a lot of them don't. And so they end up wetting themselves. They do it enough times that now they have to put the diaper on. And what I'm trying to say, I don't want to go down the whole diaper thing, but what I'm saying is I don't want to be that. If I do happen to live to the point where I'm really old, I don't want to have like balls on my chin, like smacking into the camera in front of the whole world, talking gibberish, so much so that my advisors around me are freaked out as to what the hell is he going to say now. And he's slobbering away. You can't even understand what the hell he's saying.
Hey, did you ever see the video? Maybe it wasn't a video, but the news reporter.
That's a fresh video, by the way. Have you seen that one? Ball. It's our president with balls hanging off his chin.
Did you ever see the thing?
There's something wrong with his. There's something wrong with his plastic surgery. Like something's gotten messed up.
He got the meltdown. He got the meltdown.
The meltdowns happened. Anyway.
So there's a news reporter. I think it was overseas, and everybody kept saying like, "Hey, the thing on your neck." And they were like, what do you mean? And so finally, a doctor sends him a letter and says, like, hey, the thing on your neck, you need to go get that looked at. And he's like, I don't know there's a thing on my neck. What are you talking about? And they're like, yeah, if you look right there, there's a little spot on your neck. You need to go get it looked at. And they found out that he had thyroid or pancreatic or thyroid cancer or whatever, right? And so I'm over here looking at you, and every time you talk, there's this thing on your neck. And so now I'm starting to wonder, like, no, it's over here. It's over here. You're fine. It just
this right here?
No, over here. Over here.
Here?
Yeah, it's cool. I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it.
Hey, I've got a scar somewhere around here where I had a lymph node. I had the big lump on my neck, and I had to have it removed. And they checked that it was fine. They're like, I don't know what it was, but we chopped it out. Anyway, all I'm saying is I don't want to get to the point where I'm so old. I'm okay being old, but I want to be able to go to the bathroom myself. I don't want to have somebody wipe my ass, and I want to be able to not have to wear a diaper. And that's what should make you afraid. It's not the I'm going to die, because if you have a massive heart attack, you fall over, croak, okay, deal's done. But you survive the heart attack. But now, like, half your face doesn't work, and you have to have a walker everywhere you go, and you have to wear a diaper. Because You couldn't stop smoking. Now you got to wear a diaper.
And here's what makes me afraid of that. And like I'm worried that I don't have the impulse control to overcome that. And what's so weird is that at one point in time I did have the like the eating and stuff. Like that's a new thing for me. I did have the impulse control to deal with that. And now for some reason I'm having a really hard time with it. But whatever. But
called diet fatigue. I've had to learn about this because I did the same thing. I lost a whole bunch of weight, gained it all right back, all of it.
Yeah, but here's my point is that I worry about the loss of ability to make those decisions, right? Like cognitive decline or supposed cognitive decline, and I get to the point that my health is so bad that I can't make that decision anymore.
Can't even process it.
And so somebody else is just like watching me wither away and saying, well, I love Dad. I want to keep him around. And you know what I mean? Like that. And now all of a sudden the rest of your life you're suffering away.
There are support groups centered around supporting children having to deal with their parents who are so incapacitated. The parents are out of it. Because you go from being like this little narcissist where the world revolves you, me, right? Because they've gone, no, don't want that. I want to crap myself and demand my chicky nuggies.
But what if you put all that work in and then you just like get something and croak from that instantly?
That's fine. It's fine. But don't assume that that's what's going to happen. That's what he's doing. He's assuming that, hey, in a year or two, I'm going to have a bigger heart attack and then die. Oh, okay. What if you don't? Because medicine has advanced to the point that, hey, you could die, be dead for 30 seconds to a minute, and we'll resuscitate you. But guess what? When you wake up, only one eye will work. Your right hand will not work at all. Your left leg will drag for you with the rest of your life. And yeah, you're going to have to get rolled around everywhere, and you're going to crap yourself every day.
He's making me want a cigarette.
That's the fear. That's the fear. That,
and a beer.
But
I'm
I mean,
still going to be alive, but be in so much worse shape.
I need to point out that we're going to get lectures about this is supposed to be an automotive podcast, and we're talking about this. And it does kind of relate.
Who listens to this and thinks that this is exclusively an automotive podcast?
It does somewhat relate because we see a lot of technicians who, I was shamed from the older guys that worked for me about wearing gloves. Like, what? You look like a dumbass. You look like a dumbass wearing gloves. And I think it's more common now. Or like...
It's more common. My techs went away from them again, but I want them back on.
Well, I mean, and so like I remember safety glasses, right? And I hate wearing safety glasses. I've always worn regular glasses, right? There's this
safety squints. We don't do glasses. You just... safety squints.
This is going to hurt. There's this dude I know works at a dealership. And I was standing, he's a friend of mine. I was standing in the dealership talking to him at one point, and we were talking about like, I can't remember how the safety glasses conversation came up. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh yeah, love me some safety glasses. And he's like, ain't got to wear them on the left eye. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, tink, 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 tink. And I'm like, what is that? And he's like, oh yeah, that's why you wear safety glasses, buddy. And I'm like, what happened? And he was pressing a ball joint, and like a sliver just came off just perfectly out of the ball joint press. And he's like, my eye hurt for a second. And he's like, I closed my eye. And he's like, I felt something weird. And he's like, I reach up and he's like, there's a liquid coming out of my eye that's not like a tear or something.
Oh, it went, ooh.
And he said, so like I go into the break room. He's like, I open my eye, and he's like, not only can I not see, but my other eye is clearly indicating that eye is deflated.
Yeah.
And he's like, so it was glass eye time.
Yeah, man.
And I'm like, man, and how many times are we like, you talk about the motorcycle thing, how many times have we all been just like right there at the very edge of, you know what I'm saying? And not foobar it.
Oh, been
it's
there
not
on a
the
bike.
death, it's the maiming. That's what you need to fear. It's not the death, it's the maiming.
Well, but I mean, it's like, I remember smoking cigarettes. Like I'd been working on a diesel truck one time. There's a picture of it, I think. I've been working on a diesel truck one time, had a cigarette in my mouth and had like taken it out like that. And I had diesel oil in my hand and it ran down the cigarette, and I finished smoking the cigarette. And now I think back about that. And I'm like, I kind of regret that. It'd be probably a bad decision.
Diesel oil doesn't ignite like gasoline does.
I'm not too worried about the ignition. I'm worried about the fact that it's full of shit that will also kill you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, so you were like sucking diesel fuel, burning diesel fuel in.
Thanks, David. You made me feel better. I'm sure that on your side's not cancer. It'll be fine.
I don't have anything there. What are you talking about? You're freaking me out. This is depressing. I don't know why we have to go down these depressing paths.
I know, dude. I'm telling you.
We sad people.
Every time I just feel worse and worse.
Is that why you keep asking everybody what
the last
Yes, that's exactly why I keep asking them, trying to figure it out for myself.
Last time I sat with you guys down at AST, we went down a path.
That was a good path, though. That was a hilarious, enjoyable.
No,
it was rough.
It was
But
rough.
I'm waiting for that one to drop. And we're gonna get so many comments.
It was about religion and marriage and the kids.
Did you ever watch that video? Oh, he didn't watch that video. He never does anything he says he's going to do. Have you noticed that?
Which video?
He did turn this event around. He turned this into a badass event.
Yeah, congrats on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's not just me.
A lot of work.
We did it. But
I asked you earlier who did it, and you're like, well,
It was me.
this one guy helped. But everything else
it was
through me.
Dave and I were putting most of the effort in.
So
Some of the board members had some hands as getting things prepped, but up here they're all putting their effort in to get it running.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of activity, a lot of participation.
Yeah.
So
I think it's it's going to be a good event when you go up to the registration booth and there's because at AST there was a bunch of volunteers there just running around, taking care of everybody. I don't know, it gives you a good feeling. You go to Vision. Vision's got 800 people behind there checking people in. They're all volunteers. They only have 3 paid employees, but all that activity, because there's a lot of people there. There's a lot of hype around it's good. It's good to see.
it is. And I'm excited to see what the future holds. I know there's been discussion on what, as far as this event and all the different things you're talking about doing and changing. I think one of the big things, and I don't know how comfortable you feel talking about it or what you can say or what you can't say, but, we've watched some changes within this association over the past few years where there wasn't much membership involvement. There wasn't much engagement, right?
You're right.
And it sucks because part of that definitely comes back to a board of directors that's active and working and doing something to change it, right? These associations are important. And I don't care who you are or they are important.
They are super important. It's just getting the word out of why they're important. That you can't just get it on the internet. This is what we're here for.
Right. Well, and here's the thing is what does it take to make that association work? Well, you have to have a board of directors that's active and working, right? Because they are the association.
Yep.
And so if you don't have an active board that's doing something and talking to people about it and excited about what they're doing, then that's one problem you're going to have, right? And then on the flip side of that, you have to get people to know about it and participate in the association, especially if and so marketing is very, very important. Spreading the word about the association, having events, doing things like this that people are excited about.
Communication.
Yeah. And so what do you think's been the biggest change? Because we talked about it. We had a real hardcore heart-to-heart 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Where we said hey, this either falls apart and goes away, or we put the work in and make it into something really cool. What was the big changing factor as far as, because y'all really dug in and said, hey, we're going to do something with this?
I think it was when I went to Apex SEMA last year.
Yeah.
And I was hounding the floor with the save the date cards for the tools for this year. Gave all the contacts I made to Amanda.
Yeah.
And come January, I said, have you followed up? I sent it. Called a board meeting and had everybody on. Told them, we need to help. Let's make this event better. Went back, proposed our changes, and she left.
Yeah.
And here we are.
And so, but y'all came together.
We came together.
And it would, like, it doesn't look like there were a lot of changes that were made as far as, like, we're still in the same venue. Way more people showed up, like substantially more people.
Over double.
The atmosphere is completely different. Like, the vibe that you get here compared to what it was last year is completely different. Like, how did you accomplish that? What was I
don't know, man. It's just, I'm going to say it was just an effort of, I'm a people person.
Yeah.
And I will talk with anybody. I hold no grudges. I'm a pleaser. It's what I am. I'm here to make connections, network, and spread the word about our industry here in PA, our association, what we're doing as far as legislation. Let's work together. That is the whole key. Let's work together and not have bygones or this is my attitude, this is my show. We need to work together to further everything.
What's the next step then?
The next step is to see how this weekend plays out, and then sit down, have a review with the board of directors, and see where our association currently is. Are we financially viable to stand alone, or do we need to talk with others and either become one, work together? I'd like to see this event again.
Yeah.
Even though it is a hell of a lot of work.
Yeah. Are you thinking something like a different date? Because that's one of the things.
We are looking at a different date. I put some polls out there on the ASOG site, on the AASP site, and it looks like the beginning of May is what people want to hear.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's pretty cool because, like, we do know that there's a lot of events back to back to back during this time frame.
And I think we've had this talk. It has hurt some. Yeah. The other part of it is what we just kind of talked about.
Yeah.
But there is so much going on. September, October. So I think if we get out of that and go to a springtime, you don't want to go too far in the spring because then you're with Vision. You don't want to compete there.
Yeah.
There's a couple things. Now, STX is this year in Nashville, I think the last weekend of April. So that was a weekend I was really looking at.
Yeah.
But you couldn't do it with STX.
What about if listeners want to help support the association, right? Because the association really is working to do some cool things. How important is their support to the association's survival? I mean, can they be members anywhere?
Yeah,
How does that work?
They can be. It's Pennsylvania. And I think we can do an allied for like a vendor or something like that. Maybe an at-large. Okay. That they don't have to be within Pennsylvania, but look us up, aasp-pa.org. Or email me.
Yeah.
So I'll Bret at automasters.com. And don't email me. Quit smoking.
As a matter of fact, I do think you should email him. That whole diatribe that we just went through was only to get his email address on the podcast so we can get all of our listeners
that
to
better
send
be
him
an
email about smoking.
Emails about smoking, yeah. I'm sure he won't appreciate that.
I don't care if he appreciates it or not. He's our friend, and we don't want him to, like, croak.
I'm not going to croak. I am working on quitting. I went almost that whole week after ASTE with only like 5.
Did you look up the little things I told you about? The little.
I have not. I didn't get them, but I did look into them. But I got the nicotine pouch. That is all it is. It's just the nicotine. It's not tobacco or anything. It's just that. I got them with me, and I'll put them in once in a while, and I'll be like.
Too much nicotine, yeah.
Oh, holy shit. That's a straight shot. But yeah, I am working on quitting. So
he said yesterday, I'm not doing so good.
This past week, I did not do so well.
Yeah.
I did not do so well. There's just, an addict will have an excuse for everything.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
But I did not do well this week.
It's a decision you got to make.
Yep.
But don't feel bad on making bad decisions too. It's okay. But David is not. David is doing well.
David is doing well. He's looking well.
I had a caramel apple last night.
Did you?
I didn't look up the calories before I ate it. I just ate it.
See, that's
delicious.
Did you eat that whole thing?
I ate the whole thing. I ate that whole thing, and then today I looked it up because I wanted to see. I'm like, well, because I finished. I logged everything I ate last night at the restaurant. Thank you for dinner, by the way.
You're welcome.
I logged everything down, and I was good. I'm like, okay, well, I got some extra calories. I'm gonna go eat this caramel apple, and I looked it up, and I went over a little bit.
You know,
It's all right.
I'm gonna put.
How much would you say is one caramel apple? Just throw a number out there. What would you think?
Dude, I don't even really watch calories. I don't even know what a calorie
See,
is.
that's a skinny guy life.
I'm
what would you
so
say?
I'd say, what, 1,000 calories?
It's 1,000. Yeah, 1,000 calories for the kind that I got. It's about 1,000 calories.
You know, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm a little heartbroken over one thing about this event is that if you move it, David and I are going to have to take random ass flights. He's going to have 3 connections just to get here so we can go eat at Water's Edge.
Yeah, Water's Edge is good.
Once a year. That is the best damn restaurant.
Yeah.
I like that. That's my only concern.
Better than all the restaurants we've hit at Vegas too.
Yeah.
Although I'm going to take Bret from Shop Monkey. He suggested that Thai restaurant.
We got some messages in the Apex and SEMA chat in the Facebook group
of
some really good
off
restaurants.
the strip.
Yeah, off the strip, and then some that are even on the strip, but are like people just don't know about them.
Dude, I don't know. Like we've been to Vegas enough times, and I have gone to Vegas enough times and hit some of the bigger restaurants or some of the more well-known restaurants or the foodie type restaurants, and like
they disappoint.
They're really disappointing.
I want to drive back up to Dellinger's while we're out there. That's one place I do want to go. Do you want to go for that?
I don't know what that is.
There's a little burger and whatever joint up there in like Boulder City. I can't remember. I think that's the name of the town. And it is really good.
Burgers?
Yeah, they've got like smash burgers, and they've got it's not just burgers. They've got every kind of food.
You're making me hungry.
Yeah, I am pretty hungry myself.
Smash burgers? You want to make an extra trip for a smash burger?
It's not just, dude, like you just have to be there. You just have to be there to understand. It's good food. It's a cool little town. Cool little town.
Boulder
you don't
City?
have to go.
I'm not saying I won't. I'm just saying that the food, the burger's got to be spectacular for me to bother.
Well, if it's not, that's okay. Hey, if you,
it's only 1,500 calories, Dave.
Dude, I'm telling you what, we went to breakfast at Sugar Cane the last time we were out there.
The whole Sugar Cane.
Like when you go to walk down towards the Apex exhibit hall, like you're walking towards the escalators.
Okay.
The restaurant on the corner when you walk out, like when it changes from like the carpet, like you're in the convention center.
Yeah.
That corner right there is Sugar Cane.
Okay.
And they've got this thing called the Elvis. I guarantee you, I gained 10 pounds in one meal.
I don't understand.
Like 4,200 calories.
You're a big boy though. Like it takes a lot of calories for you to, just to not.
I need to be at 1,800 a day.
No, that's not.
That's how I lost all the weight before.
That's too much. Look, I'm just telling you what I've learned since then. One, don't go too far into a deficit, but if you do, like it has to be in a cycle where you go deficit, maintenance, and it is supposed to be equal or 1.5 times your deficit time. So if you go 3 months in a deficit, it's supposed to be 3 months to 5.5 to 6 months of maintenance.
I'm beginning
for you to eat. It's so your body resets and you don't get exhausted from dieting all the time. Like you can get exhausted not eating the cheesecake when you just want the cheesecake.
Well, and I definitely see that. And so like when my son was born, right? Like, because you know what it's like to have a 5-year-old. They want to play and they want to be right there with you. So like I was exercising a lot more previously. Mm-hmm. And so I stopped exercising because my son, I hate you, Bret. I hate you. I hate skinny people. I really do.
No, me too. Everybody that's skinny, I hate you. I hate you so much.
I get that fat people are
and I ride a motorcycle, so
I'm
definitely on David's shit list.
Yeah, I know, right?
You're skinny and you ride a motorcycle. I really hate you.
Wow, I smoke a cigarette and drink a beer.
And that's it?
Yeah.
Is that better than carrot cake though? Like,
oh no, that's the destination. That's on my way there.
That doesn't. None of that makes any sense. I don't know how you stay skinny. It's because they don't eat anything but the carrot cake, and they're done for the day. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is. I don't know how you people stay like that.
Well, I mean, it's got to be genetics because like my aunt and my dad and my brother and like all that side of the family, they're heavier. My mom's side is all skinny.
Really?
And so my one brother got the skinny genes.
And he stays super thin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he drinks enough beer. He doesn't say super thin. He's got a beer belly, but
it's calories in, calories out. What it is that the food isn't like you ever hear Joe Rogan talk about food? Like, you're eating the Cheetos and the Mountain Dew because you cannot get over how that food makes you feel, or you just want that pleasure that comes from the food. And the way he describes, he's so flippant. Like, dude, I don't think you've had really good cheesecake. I think he seems like a food for fuel kind of person, and that's how he talks about it. Like, hey, I'm just eating so I don't die. I'm just eating to fuel so I can go do other things. It's like, no. I do other things.
I like to eat.
Yeah, I do other things so that I can not be 800 pounds when I do eat, because when I eat, I want to enjoy the food, that whole experience. It's an experience for me. The food is the experience. We travel to go to restaurants that we couldn't go to normally to eat foods we couldn't eat normally. Like when we go to Florida, I want to eat seafood. I want to try the seafood that just came off the boat. Like that's what I want to go do.
You know what this is, right? You know what this is? This is a plot by the pharmaceutical companies. That's what it is.
What?
That's what it is. They've loaded the food that we love with stuff that makes you fat, so you have to go get yourself some Wegovy or whatever it is, and then you gotta have
Ozempic.
that for
We gotta all be on Ozempic
for the rest of your life. And it's $10,000 a year, so they're just rolling bank because we're fatties.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Bret is probably eating everything we're eating, just in much smaller quantities.
Bro, no way. I saw what he ate last night. We both ate way less than he did. He like plowed a giant plate of food.
I did not.
And then he ate like a loaf of bread. And then he smoked 3 cigarettes.
And he was several beers in.
Yeah.
Because he kept reaching over going, man, we're buddies. And then like he did that whole thing when you're like loaded and everybody's your friend. Yeah, we had that conversation. We had the same conversation 3 times, by the way.
I saw him kissing.
I did not. Did I?
Yeah. You were. That's when I stopped and asked him, like, how many beers are you in, Bret? Like,
I saw him kissing one of the statues when we left. Did you wake up and your mouth tastes like brass?
What the hell is he? That's not kissing, dude. That's licking and slurping and some statue.
Didn't mean to put the B on there. Sorry. Anyway,
I am just saying that the food is like
the drug.
The food is the drug. Yeah, the food is the drug. So we're screwed. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.